Hello and welcome to Kane's Picks. Today on Kane's Picks we're doing the Maker's Private Select. Maker's Private Select is a very unique one that comes out of Maker's Mark. It is a special version of the Maker's 46. Maker's 46 is a special whiskey that Bill Samuels came up to help move along his legacy in the family. His dad made the regular Makers and he decided he wanted to put something on himself. So he came up with the guys, had them fan some French oak staves and they toast them down to the right level and he calls them the French 46 stave. What he does with the 46 staves is he will toast up 10 of them and he will put them in the barrel with the Makers. They age them for 3 months in a specially designed cave that is built into the wall there at Maker's Mark. They have built it where it's a nice little cellar. The temperature is controlled in this room so that way the temperature doesn't have as much of a variant like it does in the regular rick houses. In the regular rick houses, the whiskey goes really deep into the wood and really comes back into the wood. In the cellaring room, it mainly just stays right there and just kind of goes around the staves because the staves are put on. Kind of looks like a big key ring, and they set them inside the barrels and let it age for the extra 3 months. By sitting there and just absorbing the wood, it kind of adds extra flavors and mellows them out. Bill decided that the 46 stave was his favorite, and that was one he wanted to use, so he just puts 10 of them in the barrel. Well, they decided they wouldn't let people like me and some other liquor stores have our own little twist on the thing. So what they did is they came up with 4 other staves other than the Maker's 46 that you may use. There is a American Pure stave. There is the Maker's 46 stave. There is a Toasted Cuvée stave. There is a French Roasted Median and a French Spice stave. They are all very unique, very different. They impart different flavors onto the whiskey themselves. The American Pure is a little bit drier, a little bit crisper. The French Toast gives it a little bit more of a richness to it. The Cuvée gives it a well-rounded body to it. The French Median gives it more dark chocolate, more roast, more flavor. And then the Spice, well, it does what it says. It adds a little bit of extra spice, a little bit of texture, a little bit of body to the whiskey. You can put these staves in any combinations you want. They give you 10 different barrel staves to do it with. You get a special little board that they give you that actually has 10 little circles in it. Each each stave is represented by a little chip that they have. And you will take the chips and you'll put them on the stave and arrange them in an order of 10 that you want. You can adjust those staves however you want to. And what they do is they have all these little barrels made up, or all these whiskeys made up on the side that have used nothing but those staves. So after you've made this collection, they will go over there and they will mix you a little concoction of it off of the percentiles that you set in front of them, which is pretty neat because in that way you can get a little bit of a halfway sneak peek of what your whiskey may taste like as it ages with those particular staves. It's pretty cool because as you're doing that, you can tell how just one stave moved from one spot to another can make a dramatic difference in the whiskey. Every year I do these. I don't ever do the same combination twice. The first couple of years I had a really nice chocolate stave that was in there, and they've gotten rid of that, and now they've got a French Roasted Median, which kind of changes the texture and stuff, gives it a little different, more body to it. I never do the same recipe twice, for the fact is it's no fun to do the same thing twice. When you come in, I want you to try something new every time. What's neat about the Private Selects too, and unlike the 46 is actually cut into proof at around 90 proof or so. These are left at full barrel strength, uncut, unfiltered. So once they've put them in the barrel with the staves, they leave it at the full proof, whatever it may be, between 111 to 115 to 108, 109, just whatever the proof may be as it comes off the cast strength. This one we did this time is a really nice little mixture. We've done 4 of the French roasted staves. We've got 3 of the Maker's 46, 2 of the Roasted Median, and 1 of the Spice. This one right here has this really nice, big, rich body to it. It gives it more fullness, more flavor. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to make Maker's a regular flavor just a little bit fuller, a little thicker, a little creamier. What's neat about these, like I said, at full barrel strength, when you pour them in your glass, you can definitely tell the difference in the nose right away. Even at 111 proof, these still have a nice soft nose on them. They're not overpowering with the alcohol vapors and everything. You can definitely taste that French spice stave. It definitely comes out. That's one of those staves that you gotta be careful not to use too many because it will definitely overpower the entire whiskey if you're not careful. You can get little hints of the dark chocolate. You can get, just some nice, really nice rich spices all in through there. It almost has a little bit of a candied smell to it. Like I always say, that first drink, you're really not getting much of the full flavor. That first drink just gets you acclimated to drinking bourbon, especially a higher proof one like this. That first drink, your taste buds are just kind of getting the shock out of the way of being, having high alcohol going across them. The second drink is where you'll still taste a lot of stuff. And even in that first drink though, You still get a touch of the sweetness. You get the alcohol comes forward, but it's not overwhelming. You get this nice little bit of a leather to it. You get a little bit of a chocolate. You get a little bit of this nice spice on the end. Now in the second drink, the alcohol has definitely calmed down on the second drink. Like I said, you're more acclimated to the whiskey, so it's not as hot on that second drink. The more the flavors come through, you get just a touch more sweetness in the second drink. Not a whole lot, but it does get just a little bit sweeter. The more the caramel kind of comes through on the second drink. It's not quite as dry and as spicy. Like I said, it picks up more richness because, like I said, you're more acclimated to it and you get a little bit different flavors. The cool thing about these private selects is that they're so complex that you can almost get a different taste out of them almost every time you take a sip. Now, the cool thing I always tell everybody too is these full barrel strength whiskeys are tight. When you get these full ones, full strength, they're in like a fist in their glass. So I always recommend to add a little water to them because you know at full strength and like this, you know it's hard. You get a little flavor, but the alcohol kind of takes over in there. You just put a drop of water and it kind of helps it open up. You get a little more softness, a little bit more richness. Like I always say, you don't have to drown the whiskey. Just add a touch of water to it. By doing that, you can actually kind of look into the glass, and when you do that, you can watch the oils in the whiskey itself kind of break apart and dissipate. By doing that, it gives it a nice little softness. Yes, the alcohol drops off in the nose dramatically on the second once you've added the water to it. You get way more toffee this time. You get spiciness comes through. You get more of the dark chocolate and the leather in the nose. Way softer when you drink. The alcohol, it's still there because it is still 111 proof to start off with, but it is not nearly bitey, it's not burny. It kind of just is a nice little complement. It gives you a nice little drying finish is what the alcohol does in the finish. It doesn't overpower the flavors. Now you do definitely get that dark chocolate, you get more of that nice roasty, little touches of coffee and leather. That nice little spice on the finish gives you a nice kind of soft, warming little thing, along with the alcohol to kind of help kind of dry off the end so you're not left with a nice lingering flavor, but it's not overpowering. Now when I do these two, I normally like to proof these down because I'm not going to drink these at full proof at the house. I'm going to put an ice cube or a little bit more water to these when I'm doing, especially depending on what time of the year it is. So I normally proof these down to about 60 proof or so. That way I know kind of how they keep the flavor and the body to them, because I don't want you to get home and get halfway through the bottle or halfway through your glass and decide, well, you know, I really don't like this anymore. That's not what we're going for here. We want you to have that last drink to be as good as that first drink. I always say that you're only as good as your last drink. That's what makes you want to come back and either revisit that bottle or, God forbid, you drank all that one and go get you another one. Cool thing about these makers is that they are definitely customizable. There are 1,001 different combinations that you can make for them, so you can literally make these taste hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different ways. Like I said, I never try to do the same thing twice. I've realized that I do like a little bit more of the darker flavors. I tend to play a bit more on the dark side. I don't like them lighter. I don't like them sharp. I don't like them bitey. Anytime I ever pick or I do a blend like these, I try to make sure that they're softer, richer, creamier, fuller. I don't want it to be dry. I don't want it to be sharp. I don't want it to be bitey. I want it to be soft. I want it to be approachable. I want it to be, even at full strength, it's enjoyable, but when you add the water into it, it is just absolutely delightful. Hopefully you come by and try all these. We've got a few of them left at the store. They're really, really tasty. I definitely recommend them. Thank you.